Ministerio de Cultura.
Afuera.
Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible.
Afuera.
Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad.
Afuera.
Ministerio de Obras Públicas.
Afuera. Afuera.
Ministerio...
Oh, hey guys. Well, it is over, I guess. It looks like Capo was right, and we're going back to about $12,000. Bitcoin couldn't handle a dip like this. I'm just kidding, guys. We're only down about 7% at the time of recording, and we were only down about 10% at the worst. And this is to be expected during a bull market, like I've said in the past. Pullbacks are always going to happen. And believe it or not, this is actually what we want right now, I think, because whenever we're pumping into an FOMC meeting, usually we're going to dump right afterwards. And you know what that means if we're dumping into an FOMC meeting, we're probably going up after that. On Wednesday, we do have an FOMC meeting, and Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, and it looks like we're going to be finding out whether or not we're going to continue with the pause, or maybe even he's going to hint at a possibility of rate cuts at the beginning of next year. If there are any hints that we might actually get some cuts, then we're definitely going to be pumping, in my opinion, especially because it looks like some economic turmoil didn't have to happen in order for him to get there. But that remains to be seen yet, and Wednesday we're going to find out. Looking here at the chart of previous pullbacks and previous bull markets, you can see that we have had pretty significant ones in the middle of even parabolic movement. Back from about 2015 to 2018, you could see that we probably averaged about 30 or maybe even 40% for pullbacks in the middle of the parabolic phase. And in the last bull market, it wasn't as severe, but we still averaged about 25 or 30%, I would say. And as you can see, these pullbacks are diminishing in severity, so we might not see like 25 or 30% again, but I would say that about 20% or maybe even more would be really healthy, and it's nothing to be scared of because we're still not making any lower lows. If Bitcoin was to pull back 20% or 30% actually from its high, it would come back down to this red line that I've had drawn on the chart for forever, I guess, and that would bring us down to about $31,500. And we could come all the way back down to there before we even start looking at making a lower low here. So I'm not scared of this, and as a matter of fact, I think it would be good for us to just see this RSI cool off a little bit. We do have the MACD about to cross to the downside with these bars converging on each other and turning lighter colors, which usually does mean that we're going to be going in the opposite direction that we've been going for some time now. But that doesn't mean that we're going to be going down for long, because as you can see, this dip did happen in pretty quick order, and I think we could actually continue this cool off a little bit more and maybe even finish it by Wednesday, as we get ready for the FOMC meeting and possibly some news that will send us for another leg up. I was looking at the news and I couldn't really find any actual reason why we're dumping today. There's not any kind of FUD being put out, and really there's no news that's negative in the whole crypto space as far as I could tell. Last week we did have the SEC issuing an investor warning over crypto assets, but as this says, it's a recurring advisory that was issued. And Gary Gensler comes out every now and then and makes warnings like this, especially whenever crypto's pumping, because they probably want to manipulate the price and get in at a lower level because they know cryptocurrency is here to stay, and they're just trying to pump out this FUD so that they can get you to dump and they can buy at lower prices. According to this article on Barron's, Bitcoin has retreated to start the week, but this could restart the crypto rally. A wave of profit taking has hit the cryptocurrency market on Monday morning, and we saw a massive exit from long positions in low liquidity before a regular session started in Asia. Strong demand for risk assets in traditional markets suggests that the market will try to get back on its previous growth track, said Alex Kupchitskis. I don't know. Anyway, some analyst at Broker FX Pro, it says, this did not break the bullish trend. In our view, it will still remain in force if Bitcoin manages to hold above $40,000. Like I said before, I don't even think it has to hold above $40,000. As long as we don't make a lower low here, I'm really not concerned about it. Bitcoin is up almost 200% for the year so far, and it's been almost nothing but pumpiness. So it seems like it's probably time for a little bit of a cool off. And if we did come back down here to around $31,000, then all of the bears would be coming out back in full force saying we're going back down to $15,000, and Capo will finally have his day because he's been getting roasted all over X, and I'm sure he's waiting for any kind of dip so that he can get in and stop missing out on these gains, and also so that he can try to save face a little bit because you know all of these bears have just been waiting for any kind of dip to say that this is what they've been waiting for so that they can pack their bags and get back on the bullish side. And it's about time too, because I really don't understand how anybody could be bearish in this market. Anyway, the thing that they were talking about that could restart the crypto rally is exactly what I was talking about earlier, and that's the Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday. According to this article on Decrypt, $330 million in crypto longs were liquidated as Bitcoin has tumbled to below $43,000. This is basically what I think has crashed us, is that everybody was getting unreasonably long, and the big boys like BlackRock saw an opportunity to take all of these longs out and liquidate these people, causing them to dump a bunch of Bitcoin on the market that BlackRock could scoop up for the cheap. So while the market is apish again, you better be careful how apish you are, because you might get liquidated and have to sell all of your Bitcoin to BlackRock on the low. In other bullish news, here we have an article by Bitcoin Magazine that says Google is quietly revising crypto ad rules ahead of the expected Bitcoin ETF launch. Beginning in January, Google plans to allow advertising of crypto trusts, including regulated financial products like the expected Bitcoin ETFs. Just wait until there's actual Bitcoin advertisements coming across the screen, because as big companies and mainstream media outlets start to get back into cryptocurrency and pump it up again, this is going to push it in front of all of the retail investors' faces, and that's when the FOMO begins. Supposedly, this is the most hated rally of all time, and people just aren't paying attention even now. It seems like the normies are just waiting for us to get back to all-time highs before they jump in again, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be there as soon as this ETF gets approved and all of these ads start coming across everybody's screens. It's going to be nuts. The green candles and mania that we've seen over the past couple of weeks have been great, but we haven't seen anything yet because the FOMO hasn't even started. Retail investors still think that crypto's a scam because they usually watch the mainstream media and they're just sheeple. So if you've held on through the bear market and you got in before BlackRock, then consider yourself lucky, because there's never going to be an opportunity like this ever again. And finally, here we have an article by Cointelegraph that says the US government has removed 2 crypto AML rules in their national defense bill. It looks like the government might actually be backing off of their war against crypto, and I'm guessing it's pretty much because of what I said in my last video on how BlackRock is trying to get into the space, and they're probably going to be having a word with their constituents and the people that they've been lobbying, because it's going to hurt their bottom line if Elizabeth Warren is continuing to wage this stupid war against crypto, so-called. And BlackRock wants this ETF to be approved so that they can go ahead and start making some more trillions of dollars, as if they don't already have enough. It says the first provision mandated the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury to coordinate with banking and government regulators in setting up a risk-focused examination and review system on crypto or financial institutions. The second provision addressed combating anonymous crypto asset transactions, particularly crypto mixers and tumblers. So it looks like the Treasury was supposed to work with bankers, basically, to decide which crypto projects were too risky for you to be allowed to invest in it and make life-changing money. And then if you were going to use some kind of crypto tumbler or mixer to try to evade their prying eyes, then that would be illegal too, because they don't want you to use cryptocurrency anonymously, even though they say that that's why it's used by terrorists and everything, because it's inherently anonymous, which is obviously garbage. Anyway, it looks like they're finally starting to back off just a little bit, and maybe they're going to see which kinds of cryptocurrency are risky enough for them to make all kinds of money so that they can try to shut it down in the next bull market. But for right now, it looks like they still have some gains to be made, and they're not trying to slow down this market because they like money too. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Was Crypto Capo right, and are we going back down to $12,000? Or is the government and BlackRock teaming up together to make all kinds of money in this next bull run and try to front run the retail investors so that they can steal the power back and try to take control over crypto and attack it again in the next bear market? I know that was pretty concise, but that's probably just because it's what I think. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.